Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a very special first online kind of version interview with my friends. Just because we are not together, so I hope you guys can still accept this kind of format. So today I invite my friend Yue. She's doing her co-op at RBC's product control analyst. And she's going to introduce her role with you, and hopefully it can be helpful for anyone who's interested in RBC capital market. And yeah, thanks for joining us today, Yue. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Andy, for having me here. It's really excited to talk with you through this online format. So hi, everyone. My name is Yue. I'm a second-year MBA student from McMaster University, also currently as a co-op student at RBC product control team. So my daily job involves first profit and loss analysis and reporting of the derivatives. So we basically report the P&L of products for example, derivatives like swaps and options of the prior day. Not only the total profit and loss, also the decomposition of the number we also have to report. Then we compare the numbers with the trader's estimate of the prior day, and the numbers in theory should be same. So if the numbers are very different over a threshold, we have to investigate like why the numbers are different, what caused this number to be not the same, and we kind of analyze and put a comment on the reasons for the differences. And another job we mainly do is like to look at the decomp and make sure all the numbers in each of the accounts of the decomps are in line as usual, not like extremely abnormal number. So if the numbers are like abnormal, we kind of know we have to also investigate and know that, hey, this number might be rebucketed wrong. So we kind of do a rebucketing between the accounts in the decomps to make sure that they're in line with the normal number. So my typical day would be like at 9 a.m. we start. So we start doing all our reporting jobs. So we have deadlines each day. We try to put the publish and report the numbers before the deadline. And we normally do it like several hours before the deadline because we might want our reporting managers and traders to review for the numbers to make sure that they all agree with the numbers. So in the afternoon, so those reporting jobs, we can finish before 12 or 1 p.m. And in the afternoon, we do some other roles like daily checking with the system to make sure that all our products are recorded appropriately and correctly. Yeah, that's my typical day looks like. Thank you.
Hey, great. That's very detailed. Thanks. So yeah, so I know you talk a lot about your job, and it looks like this job required accounting skills very much. Is that correct? Because you need to compare all the profit and loss every day for the product.
I would say it requires the basic understanding of the profit and loss and understanding of the accounts in the decomposition. So it doesn't really involve like technical accounting skills like journal entry, bookkeeping, not really those, but you have to understand what the numbers are composite of. And like you have to be sensitive to numbers. You have to have the ability to investigate and analyze the number differences. And also you need to contact with traders to make sure that the numbers are in line with their estimate. So that's pretty much the skills. And yeah, and also I think it needs other skills like fast learning ability because you're expected to start your work within the first 2 weeks after your job starts. Not like you have a month to get used to the environment, adapt to everything. So it's kind of fast paced, and then everyone in your team has a lot to do as well. So you want to keep the pace with them as well. So that's the thing. And also I think pay attention to details is also very important because a lot of our jobs involve step-by-step processes, and you have to make sure that the numbers in every step you took was correct. Because if it's not correct, it might lead to like really wrong number in the end.
Do you need kind of report?
Not really.
Okay.
No reports involved. It's all you put everything in the system.
Any other skills you think is necessary for this role?
I think for because we work for derivatives, so you have to have the basic understanding of derivatives products, right? So it doesn't have to be like very detailed. You don't have to be like a professional in those area, but you need to have a basic understanding what derivatives are. Like how do we do trade for like options and swaps? How do we price them and their value change? Why does the value change overnight? What in the market changes has caused this number differences. So just have to know the in general know the knowledge.
Great, thanks. Okay, so let's move to your recruitment process. If you still remember, can you just maybe describe how's your recruitment and like anything people should prepare for those interviews probably?
Yeah, definitely. So the recruitment process itself is relatively simple. Like I just delivered my resume online when they have those job open, and then the HR contact me to pick a time for our interview, and then after the interview, they want to have a call with you to give you the offer. That's very simple. So the interview is only for one round.
Nice.
So as for the interview questions, it's a mix of behavioral and technical questions. So behavioral questions is actually pretty much as you mentioned before, like they test you communication skills, collaboration skills, also time management and problem and conflict solving skills. Then as for the technical questions, basically is the understanding of the derivatives. So like what are derivatives, the pricing, like what I mentioned before. Yes, so definitely we have to prepare for both.
Right. It's great. Thanks. Yeah, so can you maybe, I think people probably know about RBC very well, but can you just maybe introduce this company a little bit as well from your perspective?
So I can introduce a little bit from our team. So the product control team is really big, and we cover lots of entities. We cover lots of books. So for my team, we also so every one of us covers several books daily. For me, I think I cover like 8 to 9 daily. And also in our same floor, we also have financial control and performance monitoring and management team. So we're both support the capital markets trading. So that's
it's like different team with yours. Like you are the product control, you have other control.
Yes, we're a product control, and they also have like financial control and performance management, performance monitoring team. So it's a really big team overall.
And for your product control, I think you guys have different products or with different product control teams, right?
Yes. So basically, we are separated based on regions. So there are teams that deal with London, and we deal with the US markets, and other teams deal with the Canadian market. So it's like basically geographically separated.
Can you please share, something you like with your turn there? So you like maybe the working culture, the team, the company, other colleagues, something like this.
The one thing that I really like and appreciate is that all my team members, as well as my reporting manager, are all very supportive of me. So I remember the first day when I talked with my reporting manager, he said, just don't be afraid to ask questions, especially as the new co-op. You don't be afraid, and you have any questions you can ask, and don't ever think any question would be silly, because there's no silly questions. And then only in this way you can learn, because you're here to learn to grow. So I felt really encouraged by that. So when I was working here, when I am working here, I always ask questions, like when I have questions related to the markets, to the product itself, and to the job, to the tasks. I always ask, and my manager and teammate, they would take a lot of time to answer the questions. Even though it might take long to answer my questions, they're very happy to do it. So I think that's the one thing I really appreciate from them. And I did learn a lot of the derivative of the market, not just the daily job itself. So I think that's very important for me.
Got it.
And another thing is, so for this role, for every day, most of our job is like very fixed. We have fixed tasks to do daily, and we have a fixed time schedule, fixed deadline to finish them. So I know a lot of people like their daily life to be very different, like day to day, very different. But for me, I like some level of, certainty and stability. So yeah, that's the thing I like.
Yeah, it makes sense. Any final tips you want to share to other students who probably interested in your role and hope to apply to this product control analyst role at RBC Capital Market?
Yeah, definitely. So my first advice would be to talk with the people who actually worked in the product control team. Because from what I did, I'm just a co-op, right? But if you want to learn more about this role, like on a higher level, I would suggest you invite some people for a coffee chat to understand more deeply about this role. And then you know the role, you can decide if you like it, if you want to do it for your career, either as a start or as a long-term plan. So that's the first thing. And second, I would say for interview, you have to be prepared, like fully prepared. For the behavioral questions, technical questions, you have to know everything. You know what you're expecting, you know what you're going to do for this role, and you know what are the required skill sets. And also, I would say be proactive. So as a student, as a co-op or a new full-time employee, I know it can be like intimidating to ask questions. It's sometimes you find it hard to even ask because everybody seems to be very busy. But I would say like don't be afraid. Be proactive. You try to learn as much as you can because only in this way you can learn more and you can grow faster. And I mean, some of the jobs are like very procedure, step by step. If you know the steps, you're fine. You can finish the job, but there's always more to learn. You can finish the job, but why not learn more about the product itself when you learn when you do the steps, right? So that would be my advice.
Great. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think if anybody has questions, they can feel free to reach out to you. And yeah, thanks again for joining us and have a good holiday.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Andy. It's very nice talking with you and enjoy your holiday as well. I'll see you at school.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.